We're back here at veteran Mike's house, and we're gonna cut down these big trees today. We have a huge crew, look at this. So we brought 4 tractors today because it's kind of hot, and we maybe can haul a lot of this stuff with tractors rather than by hand. Notice Danny's even with our home group today. So we're kind of merging 2 crews together. Again, we're gonna cut a bunch of dead ash and some more trees that probably need to be cut. We're gonna burn them in the backyard. Let's get started.
Of course, you know Dick in the white. He's a soon-to-be retired farmer, a hard worker, and he has got a wealth of experience. Bill's recovering from a recent illness, so we gave him full-time stump grinding responsibilities today.
I think I heard him say there's poison in some of the vines and stuff that was there.
Ugh. Sure wish I'd have brought my old King Cutter tiller instead of my brand new Moskio.
Some big roots too. That was a brick. Tim's trying to get landscape fabric out from the front of the house. Vanessa had tried by hand, but it gets so heavy with dirt on it. Tim can pick it up much easier with this grapple.
Longtime viewers will recognize Danny, our tree expert. We've worked with he and his team on several tree cutting projects over the years. Brian is trying a Kubota for the very first time, and I don't think he has much experience with a grapple. But he catches on quick, you'll see.
Oh my goodness. Gary and Debbie are cleaning out around this little camper that's been there for a long time.
This is my favorite stick in the whole world. Saves my hands. For lower stuff, it's probably overkill, but it's just fun to use this because it works great.
I put the landscape rake on, kind of as a last-minute addition. I thought it might help with some of this final cleanup. It gets really tiresome to do this by hand with a hand rake or blower or whatever. Keep watching. It seems to work pretty well.
Chuck's found some more of those wire roll things.
Okay, Danny, is this going to fall on my trailer? Or on that old junk trailer? I'm nervous now.
It's coming. Right where they wanted it.
Yep, Bill's still working at it. Check out his IsoTunes Pro 2.0s. Yep, he got them at isotunesaudio.com/TTWT, and he used code TTWT for $10 off. Christy decided to try the rear finish mower to get under all of those spruce limbs. I believe it's spruce. She would have worked longer at this, but we really needed the grapples. They were sawing stuff down so fast we had to get it hauled off to the brush pile.
Brian is going in for a grapple full. I'm not over the fire, so I just have smoke and ash from the fire. I think I'll get out of there.
Boy, that's a beautiful cedar. A big cedar. Really smells good, but it's all rotten in the middle.
Out in the country, and sometimes even in the city, you can run into stuff like this. This is an old barbed wire fence. Maybe not even barbed wire, it's an old fence. Somebody put it in here, the tree grew up around it. But we had metal in the back of it and the side of it. So that's why we cut it so high, to try and miss all of that. And then up here in the top of the tree, 20 feet up, there's a whole bunch of wire still. I don't know how that got up there, or if it grew up there or what. But that was up there too.
Somebody must have put something.
So usually when I try to avoid this stuff, I find it anyway. And sometimes the chain can recover from it, most of the time not. So we won't leave this here. I think I'll try to throw it in the trash back there. And I think we can move back up front. We got a couple more dead things up front in the front yard. Slow and slow, real quick.
Thank you.
Oh, did I hit the front of Clifford?
You took some of the dust off of the bumper.
Uh-oh. So this tree here is dead. It's got a little bit of lean this way. We could drop it this way, but there's one limb that could hit this little shed thing, so we're gonna try not to hit it. So the reality is we could just pull it across the road. We can overcome the lean with just a tractor and a rope. So all I'm gonna do is just put a rope up here around the first crotch. I could go higher, but I probably don't need to. It might have a few hundred pounds of static lean, but the tractor can overcome that. Gonna put a rope and then pull it. So this is my throw cube. It's got throw line in it. I just use this to get a line up in the tree, and I'll put the big rope back up there. So again, this line is just to get the rope up in the tree. So then this is kind of like the Chinese finger trap. Open up the loop.
Yeah.
Bag goes through it. And then basically I do a pile hitch, and then I do a half hitch, and then a full turn on the end, just to help it wind through the branches. No big deal. And we could have thrown it up by coiling a rope. This isn't that high, but if it's 50 feet up or 80 feet up, you can do the same technique. It should just pull right on through.
Yeah, it should.
Should.
Shouldn't it?
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, you put some tension on that. Okay, now do it. Go, pull it hard. Real one hard jerk. There you go. Keep going. And then I put my ropes up by flaking them. There's lots of techniques that guys use. With this kind of bag, you definitely don't want to coil or twist it. You just want to flake it back in. So I'm not coiling or twisting the throw line back in the bag. I'm just letting it fall in there where it goes. It just slides off the end. Just grab it with two hands and just slide it right off. And you can twist it and it'll loosen. Perfect.
There you go.
And because we're going to have a tractor pulling, I'm going to tie a bowline on a bite in the end of that and use my, ironically it's called a Big Dan carabiner, steel carabiner. And I always try to put my cube back up right away in case I need it again for some silly reason. And it's ready to go next time. So the knot I like to tie, because you're going to be pulling with a tractor with lots of force, is a bowline on a bite. So I make a bite in the line, make a loop, the bite goes through the opening and goes around the entire knot, and the 2 runs of the bite become my
Become your pull.
become my
like
loop.
A loop for like the clevis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's good to put a stopper knot with a bowline on a bite or some kind of finish. So you can load this up with 3,000 pounds of heavy tractor and it'll come right undone when you break it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
You don't have to fight it to get it undone. So all I'm gonna do is it's gonna cinch up there. We'll pull the rope over. It'll hopefully break those little limbs off. It'll cinch up there.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pull that way with the tractor.
Right.
And that's all we need.
Should be.
All right. I like talking out loud with my plan in case you hear something that sounds stupid or crazy. You'll go, now wait a minute, are you sure
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like that's gonna work?
Okay.
All right, now we're committed. Gates locked. A little bit more, just to be safe, just to keep you safe.
Plenty of rope.
Yeah, I got 200 feet.
Now don't drop that thing on my tractor like you did my truck.
Oh my goodness.
Now, this particular tree is the reason I called Danny. It's a little hard to show because it would get boring in video, but Danny took a long time to decide how to fall it. From these angles, you can clearly see that it wanted to fall on that old trailer. But Danny knows what he's doing. I wasn't concerned at all.
He's asked Dick to pull with the tractor. Dick's pulling, but it's not going. There it goes. Whoa!
So the first thing I like to do is get all my ropes and gear out of the tree before, because I've cut my ropes before. So that was an example of super slow, which is what I am. Hopefully it's super safe. Also, if there was a structure on the other side we cared about, this was definitely the way to do it. I did not use wedges on that tree, if you noticed. The reason is if you have a tractor pulling or somebody pulling with the rope, you want to see the kerf open up or close. If it would have closed, I knew that we didn't have enough tension on it. We had too much weight going the wrong way. But it never closed, and it was only starting to open up.
Okay.
Once I cut enough, then it opened up, then I knew he could take it on the rest of the way over. That's one of those things nobody will tell you and nobody will do. Because everybody's like, you got to use a wedge. Not if you got somebody pulling, because you want to see the kerf open. If you're pounding a wedge in, you don't know if it's your wedge or if it's them pulling.
Good point.
I wasn't sure that little tractor had enough.
It did. I always leave way more wood than I need to.
Yeah, just let the tractor pull it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vanessa has worked and worked around this tree. Manual labor.
When the tree's on the ground, that's the quote dangerous part is done, but honestly this part is dangerous as well. And if people have been cutting logs when their tree's on the ground before, sometimes your chain your bar will get stuck, right? So every time you go to make a cut, you have to decide and visually try to see, is this limb that I'm cutting holding and supporting weight? Meaning that if I cut it on the top, it's going to close and pinch my bar, or is it just dangling out there, and if I cut it, it's actually going to open up and fall down? You can literally watch the kerf and the bar, and if it starts to close, you stop, and then you can cut underneath it, and then it'll close on top and fall down. You have to watch it. You can also listen for the RPMs because they'll slow down if the tree's starting to close, but literally I usually watch the kerf, and if it starts to close a little bit, I stop cutting.
Yeah, they're cutting another trees down out of the middle of this tree. Oh, there it went. landscape rake is doing a great job of cleaning up all the little branches that fell and broke off. And so we brought Clifford in the 28-foot trailer. Dick came over to our house and hooked up to our 16-foot ultimate dump and brought a tractor. And I pulled the trailer, the 16-foot car hauler, with Johnny 2. The Ridgeline will pull about 5,000 pounds, so it was just fine. Tim picking up the stuff that we have raked up with the landscape rake. That's pretty cool.
The grapple worked very well until we got down to just the smallest of piles. Can you believe I failed to bring a loader bucket? Yeah, it was shameful. Some folks had to use a wheelbarrow to haul off the last of the brush. That's right, a wheelbarrow. I threw mine away years ago.
Brian's coming with a huge bit of tree.
The rest of the gang's already gone home, or at least they're going home. It's late. I thought this was going to be a couple hour job. I didn't tell you how long it was going to be, Danny.
I didn't know. That's all right.
We got a lot of stuff done today.
Yes, we did.
And I really appreciate you guys for helping.
Appreciate you.
I hope Mike enjoys this, because I mean this has been fun for us to do. Maybe the last hour or so wasn't so fun because we were so exhausted, but the rest of it's been fun. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's getting dark here. You can even hear the locusts or cicadas in the background. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.